This Week in Michigan Football History with Professor Greg Dooley.
Good morning and happy homecoming to the thousands of alums back in Ann Arbor this weekend. And of course, to the millions listening around the world. Did you know it's actually our Big Ten buddies from Champaign that claim to have started this tradition? Indeed, Illinois first started having an annual homecoming weekend in 1910. And speaking of traditions, today's opponent, Rutgers, of course, owns the distinction of the first victory in college football history way back in 1869. But of course, Michigan owns the tradition of winning the most, and Schembechler Hall has 992 victory pigskins on display to prove it. You can't talk college football tradition without talking Michigan and Notre Dame. The 130-year relationship with our friends from South Bend has been rocky at best. It started on good terms when we taught them, yes, literally taught them, how to play football in 1887, but it quickly turned sour. By 1910, it got straight up nasty when a scheduled game that year was canceled hours before the scheduled kickoff due to a dispute over player eligibility. As time went on, the stakes got higher. In the 1920s, tauntings and accusations of cheating were lobbed back and forth between the icons Knute Rockne and Fielding Yost. Over 3 decades of not meeting on the gridiron, the teams played in split games in 1942 and 1943. But from there, the relationship cooled once again. Not helping matters is the fact that both teams still claim to be the rightful owner of the 1947 national championship. So it wasn't until the 1970s, when Michigan AD Don Canham was looking for ways to fill the big house, that the natural enemies resumed their rivalry. The game was exactly 45 years ago on this day in Michigan football history, September 23rd, 1978, in a game dubbed the Reunion Game. It was a showdown of 2 of college football's legendary schools and 2 of its biggest stars, quarterbacks Joe Montana and Michigan's Ricky the Peach Leach. Irish coach Dan Devine added to the hype by allowing his players to don those lucky green jerseys. But it was almost over before it started for Michigan. Leach had a bad ankle injury that kept him out of practice all week. Bo was all ready to make plans to go without number 7, but the Flint native was boosted by a pep talk from legendary radio voice Bob Ufer, and Ricky promised old Uf he would give it a go. The game was held in South Bend, and Michigan tried it at a half, down 14-7. But Leach and the Michigan defense would not be denied and dominated the second stanza. Curtis Greer closed the day by crushing Montana and his lucky green jersey in the Irish end zone for a safety, making the final 28-14. The rivalry was back on and back to square one, with the Michigan men teaching the Irishmen how to play this game in their own backyard. Go Blue! Happy homecoming! Beat Rutgers! And for more, check out WTKA.com and mvictors.com. For the Key Bank Countdown to Kickoff, this is the Professor, Greg Dooley.